That would be me.
Look who we're hanging with.
Jason David Frank.
Boom shakalaka.
Please do not change channel.
Hello, World Wide Web. Welcome back to the Hangin' With Web Show. I'm GW Pomichter. Thank you so much for logging on and tuning in. Couldn't do this without any of you. We need you to go down and hit subscribe for us. You can come back over and over again. We've got artists, authors, filmmakers, musicians, creative minds of all kinds on the Hangin' With Web Show. We are here at Space Coast Comic-Con 2018. Thank you so much to David Grace, Jake Estrada for having us in here. We've been talking to creative people all weekend long. This is a buffet of creativity.
Certainly
From
is.
the kids running around in costume to the writers and the authors and the artists that are in the other room. It's a fantastic event. We love coming here every year. Thank you so much to Jake and Dave for that. We're here and we're hanging with author Stephen R. Bruck. Stephen is a Hangin' With Web Show alumnus. We met up with you at the art show downtown.
Yes, about
That's
2 years ago,
about
right?
2 years ago.
Right.
Yeah, how you been?
I've been fine. I'm a little confused, though. All these costumes and no candy.
Oh, there's candy.
Oh, there's candy.
Oh, there's candy.
I'll define
Cosplay
that.
Michael's running around here. I tell you, there's candy.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, the Florida Connors over here, they give him candy every time they bring him in, and then they tell him how great he is, and then they give him more candy, and they send him home with me.
There you go.
It's a wrong idea. I'm trying to tell him. Every time he comes in here, he says, "Hey, look, I found my friends." I said, "I hate your friends." All right, well, here we got. We're looking at Parashut Drashim.
Parashut Rashim, yes.
Okay. All right. Well, we're going to start there. We're going to give you all. We're going to take you all to school. So, tell me what that says.
Okay, it's Hebrew. Basically, the Torah, which are the first 5 books of the Bible, are split up into 54 separate readings, portions that we read each Sabbath, and they're called a parashah. In the plural is parashot.
Okay.
And when Jews talk, we converse, we argue, we give a little, take a little, and it's called a drash. And the plural of that is 3 guesses, and the first 2 don't count. That's right, drashim. So parashot drashim is a discussion about all of the separate readings in the Torah that are split out over a 1-year cycle. And in fact, what's happening is tonight starts Rosh Hashanah, the first of the high holy days. The last one is Shavuot, which many Gentiles and Christians know as Pentecost. 8 days after that, we take the Torah and we turn it back. It's called Simchat Torah, the joy of Torah. We turn it all the way back to the very beginning and start reading all over again. So every synagogue in the world, using that 1-year reading cycle, will be reading the same exact thing. And this book is a compilation of different commentaries and messages that I've been doing on each Torah reading in my blog, MessianicMoment.com. That's MessianicMoment.com. for the last couple of years. So it's useful. It can be used as reference material. It can be used for Bible study. Even if you just have to put a sermon together real fast, you might find some usefulness in there. But the real purpose, and the reason I say it's for Jews and Gentiles, is because being Messianic, of course, I accept that Yeshua, who's Jesus' Hebrew name, is the Messiah. So I see my Bible from Genesis all the way to Revelation. And this book is my way to try to bridge the gap of sorry, I have to say it this way, hatred and bigotry that comes from misunderstanding and ignorance, which is where all bigotry starts from, between Jews and Gentiles or Christians. Because Christians have grown up saying, oh, the Jews have Torah, we have the blood of Christ. And Jews have grown up being told that New Testament stuff, that's all Christian stuff. It's got nothing to do with us. But what they don't realize is that Yeshua, Jesus, taught from the Torah.
Yeah.
Modern day Christianity is mostly based really on what Constantine developed at the Council of Nicene 3 centuries later. So what I want to do is I want to try to bridge that gap of misunderstanding by showing the Christians how much of what writings by Paul and the Gospels and James.
It's very important, I think, that the Gentile community learn that Christianity today is defined as Judeo-Christianity.
Right.
It has its roots in the teachings of Christ, which came from the Jewish
Torah.
community.
Right.
And so accepting that it's one of those tweaks in your mind that without a certain switch going off, nobody equates it.
It's like
so
building...
when you see something and you go, hey, wait a minute, can that possibly be true? And you're like, yeah, there's a whole first half of the Bible. Yeah, that was written way before.
Right. In John, the Gospel of John, he starts right off by saying there was the Word was God, the Word became flesh. Well, he's talking about Yeshua, Jesus. But what Word existed? Only the Torah. So, whereas Christianity is being taught, well, those Jews, they have the Torah, we have Christ. Well, guess what? Christ is the living Torah. He could not teach against himself. And so what I want to do with this is I also want to show the Jewish people that, hey, guess what? That New Covenant, that New Testament book, it's all about Torah. It's really all about using the Torah, but the real difference is at the time, the Pharisees, the bad guys, were teaching the plain written word. In other words, thou shalt not kill, don't kill. But what Yeshua taught was the deeper meaning, which is also considered a drash. Which thou shalt not kill, he said, even if you hate in your heart.
Well, and even it's really important out there when you're to do a scholarly study of things sometimes, and we don't. We look at things and we take, bam, that's what I see. That's what this guy knows. That's what this guy knows. That's what I know. And to do a scholarly study, you learn that as you pointed out, most of what modern Christianity understands comes from Constantine, and that is the assimilation of Judeo-Christian tradition into Roman tradition, demonstrating the Messianic culture of the Romans and the Greeks, which has always existed. They had a Messianic culture. Alexander was said to have been half God. This is a Messianic culture that they have. So when they assimilated Judeo-Christianity, they put that in there. It was good. Constantine was nothing if not a wonderful marketer.
Good. Yes.
Christmas itself, guys, we're not actually certain of December 25th, but we do know that the Festival of Saturnalia was going on right next door.
Yes.
So it made for one hell of a party.
And Easter was named after Ashtra, the goddess of fertility.
So when you do a study, you find out what I always like to tell people, especially as artists and writers in this community, our job is to tell a human truth. And when you look at things from a scholarly point of view, what you find out is the human story is consistent, if nothing else, if you take the time to learn it.
Well, Isaiah said we are all easily led astray like
Yes.
sheep. So too many people just believe what they hear. That's why I want this to be something that would not turn off Jewish readers because it's Christian, even though, unfortunately, most of my Jewish brothers and sisters, the moment they hear I'm Messianic or that I believe in Jesus, it's like,
It's
and that's just what we've been taught. I was taught that for 40 years. I believe the same thing till I researched it for myself. So Hosea says, my people are destroyed for lack of knowledge, all right? I want somebody to have a little more knowledge.
And,
learn.
You went into the title a little bit more, and Pereshot Drashim.
Yes, very good.
Okay.
We'll make a Jew out of you yet.
There we go. And it's about discussion. It's about conversation. It's about understanding. Those are the things that good writers, whether you're reading Stephen King or you're reading a scholarly study, or Stephen Bruck, that's right. Those are the things we're trying to teach you. You have a great t-shirt on today.
Yes.
I'm loving this. This is fantastic. But we want to remind everybody, we're at a Comic-Con right now, and one of the great things about this is believe it or not, this is a scholarly study in humanity. Y'all don't maybe not know it, but the fellows that wrote Superman wrote a Messianic story.
Well, they were Jewish.
They
Joel
were Jewish.
Siegel.
That's right.
And Oy.
Aye, yes, thank you. Well, I'm going to sound really silly in front of the comic audience now. No, it's
know that.
Yeah, but they did. They were writing. They literally they bastardized two of what you guys know as biblical stories or Torah stories. They took the story of Moses and the story of Jesus, and they created Superman. And right down to his name, by the way, Kal-El, which is drawn
all about God. Actually, Kal in Hebrew, Kal means on top of, and El is God, so on top of God.
That's right. So remember, guys, when you see all these nerds and geeks walking around and you're like, oh my God, what are they doing? This is what they're doing. This is the study. I love this representation. This is the study and what we're doing. We're building a hero. We're telling the same stories, the human stories, from the Greeks to the Romans to the Christians to the Jews. We're telling a human story of what a Messianic
What I like
hero
best about it is, of course, I don't know if you can see it on the camera, but Yeshua's in the middle and he's telling all the superheroes, that's how I save the world.
That's right. And of course he has his pose as a teacher,
right?
As a rabbi, showing everybody what to do. Guys, we want to know where you're going to be up the road. Where can people pick this up? And we're going to put some links down below so they can pick it up online. Yeah.
Well, I'm on Kickstarter. So if you go to Kickstarter.com and put in Stephen Bruck, it'll come up there. And we've got some great deals because we got my other 2 books, which, I should have kept a copy, but Back to Basics, which was our first talk, and I've written one on prayer in the meantime, what it is and what to expect from it and how to do it. All of these are going to be there in PDF format, or you can get combinations of different books, and we have all these.
We want to remind everybody out there, by the way, The Living Universe is not Santa Claus, so please read his book. You don't just make a list and tell him what you want. That's probably a bad idea.
That's right. Although, whatever
works for you. All right, guys, we have to wrap it up. We've been hanging with our good friend Stephen R. Bruck. You can find out more about Stephen. You can go over to the Hangin' With Show's Facebook page. You can check out links over there. Also, for all of our creative minds out there that have sat in the chair before, Stephen is great at posting in our creator group. And I know a lot of our creators really love that.
Oh, and I'm sorry, by the way, also, MessianicMoment.com.
Thank you. Grab that link from down below, guys. We're going to put it down there. We're going to wrap it up. She's going to wave that card until we shut up. I know.
I'm reading it. It's very interesting.
Our mothers are like that. They just wave things at you until you shut up or they whack you in the head.
Oh, my mother used to do that, but she found out there was nothing to do with it.
Didn't work.
No, just got a gong sound.
I forgot. There was an echo. We're going to say thank you to our partners and friends, our great friends at Something Unique Magazine, Space Coast Comics, Famous Faces and Funnies, Off the Chain Radio with author Yvonne Mason, Pound the Grape down in Melbourne, Florida. Great place to stop in, have a glass of wine, do some writing.
I was going to say, I hope so.
It's good stuff. And our great friends at Embellish Effects. If you're doing costuming, cosplay, if you're going into the theater, it's a great place to go. They got makeup, they got wigs, they got outfits, they got, you name it, they got it in Embellish Effects.
I have to go there.
You have to go there. That's right. They don't have Stephen's book yet, but we'll get it there. So, remember, guys, stay logged on, stay tuned in, and see who we're hanging with next. Stephen, thank you so much.
Thanks
for coming up, man.